from IIT to IIM to being a spiritual leader, what was that moment where you changed your stance of life or approach of life? Was it a process or was it like just a moment?
Actually, every time I give a lecture, I'm asked this question. If I look back at it, somehow my life was designed for this. And when I was in grade 8, I came across a book and I started meditating. I was not exposed at that time to spiritual knowledge. I was growing up like the modern youth. But at the same time, I was always having this feeling that something is missing. And that's why I was probably the second last or the last 5-year batch of IIT. So engineering was 5 years, and 5 years of rigorous exposure to science left me unimpressed. I always felt there's something missing here. We are starting with models which are assumptions. The engineering is full of such models. And also we are talking about laws of nature, but there is no mention of the lawmaker. If there has been a big bang, there should be chaos and no laws. So then when I came to IIM to start the PGP program, we were exposed to sociology, organizational behavior, economics, etc. I found in every subject there were so many theories. For example, in sociology, there's one theory that explains how society evolves. There is a second, there is a third, there's a fourth. And the same with economics and same with psychology. There's Freud's theory and Carl Jung's theory, etc. So that made me develop this deep desire to know what is the truth. I was just thinking, what is the truth? What is the truth? And then there was a classmate of mine who was already on the spiritual path. So it was tea time. We were in the hostel. He was sitting there and he was not taking tea. I asked him, why don't you take tea? He said, I don't take tea, I don't drink, I don't smoke. Then what's wrong with you? Everybody is doing all these things. So he was a newcomer to the spiritual path, so he had that exuberance and pride of spirituality. So he said, I know the absolute truth, I'm trying to get God realized. That one sentence was what I wanted to hear. He said, I know the absolute truth. I said, really? That is what I am searching for, please tell me. So he said, okay, he used to live in Kolkata. I'm going home for the weekend. When I come back, I'll tell you the absolute truth. So from Friday evening till Monday, I was waiting to hear the absolute truth. And then when he came back, he told me some simple things. We are the soul and not the body, and there is a God who is created. We are part of Him. Happiness we want is not in the world, it's in Him. But that night, I could not sleep. It made such a big difference. All of a sudden something changed from inside. And something told me that this is the truth. So after that, my interest in management receded. And I was spending more of my time in reading the Gita and the Bhagavad and practicing devotion. So in front of my classmates, they saw that this person entered materialistic and he left totally spiritual. And halfway through, we used to have this internship, they used to call it summer training. So Hindustan Levers had come and they picked me up. So they gave me an exposure to the corporate world of Bombay. And that made me completely suffocated. I decided this is not what I want. It was such an artificial environment. So everybody was pretending, everybody was trying to impress everybody else. Nobody cared for anybody else but pretended that they did. And so did the company. So I thought, where have I got caught? when I went back, I said I must take a job which is less competitive. So the IT industry was just taking off. And I said, this Tata Burroughs seems safe for a person like me. There was a company called Tata Burroughs. I joined Tata Burroughs and they started teaching. So this was an IT job in those days. There were no laptops and terminal computers. So they were teaching us the Burroughs system. And I would always think that what connection does this have with the absolute truth? And why should I work hard to increase the profits of the shareholders of the Tatas? So then they had, after my training, they had assigned me to a project in USA. So I thought, all right, let me go and see the world, take a look and then come back and then I'll take sannyas. That intention was there in any case. So then I met a sannyasi. That time I had not yet met my guru. I met a sannyasi. So I told him my plan, I will go and see the world and come back and take sannyas. He related a story to me. He said there was a man who was sitting on the banks of the Ganges with chipped rice, chuda, thinking of offering it to Vishnu. So the thought was, if I offer it and Vishnu takes it all, then I'll have nothing left. He was thinking, should I offer it or should I not? Should I offer it or should I not? And there was a gust of wind, it all flew away. So he said, oh my God, it's gone. Oh Sri Vishnu, I offer it all to you. In the same way, he said, when you grow old and you are good for nothing and you come and surrender to God, God will say, what is this value of this surrender? When you have options and you have a future and you reject it for the sake of God, that is considered a sacrifice. Now that made great sense to my logic. So I said, this is perfect. And then I understood from my guru that there is no shortage of engineers and MBAs in the world. There are so many who are graduating every year, but there is need of youngsters who can understand, explain the spiritual science. So I decided that what is in line with my values, when I am a part of God, I want to serve God, I want to realize Him for myself and to help others do the same. And that is the reason why I took this step.